What's going on, lasagnas? It's your boy DylanLasagna here, and welcome to my raw reactions for the June 13th, 2016 episode. And it was the last episode before Money in the Bank, and I have to say it was an okay episode before Money in the Bank. It built up some of the matches before Money in the Bank, and the others got me less excited for those certain matches, but we'll get to them eventually as this video goes on. So the show starts off with your world famous WWE World Tag Team Champions as the New Day come out, cut their usual promo, and Kofi Kingston's wearing Steph Curry low tops. The worst time to wear them because the Warriors lost Game 5 without Draymond Green. The chance to win the championship at home, but they couldn't get it done. But we're not here to talk about their disappointing defeat. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. And here comes Enzo and Cass, and he has a stare down with Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston's about to announce that, well, it's gonna be Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Xavier Woods and the New Day in an epic comedic showdown, and they're all hyped up. But then here come the vaudevillains to ruin everyone's fun, and then they talk about the bygone era and all that stupid shit about the bygone era, and they sing a really crappy song, but I have to be honest, Simon Gotch kind of has a slightly decent, English, voice. If he goes to the voice, he has an opera accent. Anyway, he sings a song about becoming the WWE Tag Team Champions, which brings out the Club. And here comes the Bullet Club, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, without AJ Styles. And they're here not to have fun, but to start, well, not really start a fight, but they're here to talk business. And they talk about how this Sunday, the Tag Team Championships is coming home to the Club. Which then turns into an 8-man tag team match between the New Day, well, Big E and Kofi, I think, and then Enzo and Cass against Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and the Vaudevillains. And what was a very good way to start Raw, but I kind of feel like they got the tag team match thing down already, so it was okay, I guess. So everyone gets their shining spotlight. Big Cass once again proved that he can do anything in the ring, as a singles competitor. Well, not yet. He still needs some work, but he's getting there. He's doing very good in the ring. And then chaos erupts, and then Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and Kofi Kingston again with the Magic Killer, and what could be a sign of things to come at Money in the Bank, in which I will be doing predictions on Thursday before the pay-per-view. We also had a contract signing between John Cena and AJ Styles for their dream matchup at Money in the Bank. That'll be official as soon as they sign the contract. So here comes John Cena. He has 2 contracts on the table, and well, he doesn't want to talk about it because he wants AJ Styles to come up first. But first, he brings up AJ Styles' accomplishments, how he's won more championships than Cena. He puts over New Japan, Ring of Honor, not TNA, of course, because they're their only competition, of course. And then here comes AJ Styles, because they don't want none. They don't want none. The The Warriors don't want any of the Cavs, none. Anyway, here comes AJ Styles. Here comes AJ Styles to sign the contract, and he just puts down Cena like right away. He talks about if he came here 15 years ago, AJ Styles, Cena wouldn't be the face that runs the place. Cena wouldn't be in shitty movies. He wouldn't have 15 world titles. He wouldn't won the Royal Rumble twice. Well, if AJ Styles had come to the WWE like more than 15 years ago, he would have done the thing Steve Austin would have done. Won the Royal Rumble 3 times, baby! Anyway, so yeah, and then AJ goes to sign the contract, and he's confused, like, what the hell is this bullshit? And then Cena goes on to say, this bullshit, AJ Styles, is a match between you and me, and the other contract is a contract between me and the Bullshit Club. If you have any balls that weren't left in Japan, you got any bullets? Because all I hear is bullshit. And then this pissed, he didn't actually say that, but pretty much what John Cena said on Monday night pretty pissed off AJ Styles in what was an epic, like, awesome, like, not really shoot promo, but it was like, I know it was all like kayfabe and stuff, but it was pretty awesome, like, how they're putting each other down, and then, like, it pretty pisses off AJ Styles and John Cena at the same time. They're pretty pissing each other off at this point, which makes it so good because, like, they're hyping up their match better than the rest of the card. Anyway, AJ Styles signs the contract for a proper one-on-one match, and then he says, I'll prove to you, and I'll prove to the world that I can beat you. And then after Money in the Bank, you can't see me, and you won't beat me. Because you don't want none of AJ Styles. We also had the Ambrose Asylum between all the former members of the Shield. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns in the same ring in one talk show segment hosted by Dean Ambrose. They recall their days during the Shield, and Seth Rollins goes on to recall the day where he stabbed the Shield in the back, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, where he hit the chair on Roman Reigns' back, and Dean Ambrose hit the curb stomp. Well, he didn't really mention the curb stomp because, well, the curb stomp's banned on Dean Ambrose on the chair. And then he went on to mention stealing Roman Reigns' WrestleMania moment by cashing in Money in the Bank, which I was there for. And then he stole the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and went on to win the WWE title at WrestleMania. He then goes on to claim that he wants the title that he never lost. And then this brings up to the point where Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns are questioning Seth Rollins. Can he do it on his own? Because during his title reign, he retained the title with the help of the Authority, Kane, and JJ in security. And might I mention Jon Stewart and The Undertaker. And he never had a clean win during his title reign. And Seth Rollins, at this point, is very pissed off and says, oh, you want me to prove that I can beat you one-on-one, Roman? Well, I'm going to beat you one-on-one and show the world that I am the man. And then Roman Reigns cuts his usual promo about being the guy, and how this Sunday, how I'll be the guy once I beat you. And this is where things get interesting, like, after he cuts that promo, because Dean Ambrose goes on to point out that if he wins Money in the Bank, hopefully, which I'll point out in my predictions on Thursday, that if he wins Money in the Bank, he will there's a possibility that he will cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase during that WWE title match, making it a triple threat like Seth Rollins did at WrestleMania, and then possibly Dean Ambrose will walk out as the WWE champion. And then the segment ends, And then Seth Rollins goes on to attack Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. But then they get the upper hand. Roman Reigns hit the superhero sandwich. And then Dean Ambrose hits Dirty Deeds on Roman Reigns. And which was obviously the segment of the night. All three members of the Shield in the same ring, discussing what might happen at Money in the Bank. And possibly in the near future, like during the summer of this new era, in which I am excited for. We also had the return of Corporate Kane, who wanted to show Stephanie and Shane McMahon that as a former director of operations, he can use his leadership skills to run SmackDown. And then he goes on to show Shane McMahon that he like by using his leadership skills, he can run SmackDown, obviously. And he goes on to make a tag team match between Kevin Owens and Alberto Del Rio versus the Lucha Dragons. And the Lucha Dragons win. They replace Kevin Owens and Alberto Del Rio in the match because Del Rio and Owens can't get along. Which I'll talk about that match later. But then Kane overhears Stephanie and Shane how Kane can't run SmackDown because he's too too unstable like Dean Ambrose, and he's too insane and he can't be controlled. He himself can't be controlled, and he's unfit to run SmackDown. And this kind of made me laugh a little. It's like, Shane, is this about the whole car battery to the testicles thing? That made me laugh. It's like, well, it doesn't really help your case. That made me. It's like, what is this? 2003? It's good to bring that up. It's like, I kind of like that kind of Kane, like the one we saw back in late October, and then hopefully we see a little bit more, but a little less of Kane. But I don't know. It was a good one-nighter for Kane. That's all I can say. We also had more build-up and hype for the Money in the Bank ladder match between the 6 participants. As I mentioned, Kevin Owens teamed up with Alberto Del Rio to go up against the Lucha Dragons. Where if Kevin Owens and Del Rio lost, they would lose their spots to the Lucha Dragons in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Obviously, Del Rio and Owens couldn't get along, but they still managed to win a fun match. It was very funny to see them arguing and amongst themselves the whole time. And then Kevin Owens dragged Del Rio so he can hit Sin Cara with the Pop-Tart Powerbomb to get the win for his team and retain their spots in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then after the match, Del Rio had to be a sucker and then kick Kevin Owens right in the face with the super kick. And then why did that happen? I don't know. I think something about the airport security holding Del Rio because of Kevin Owens. I don't know. There was also Sami Zayn versus Cesaro in another Money in the Bank ladder match hype match. Yeah, that was a fun match too. Although it wasn't as good as their match from NXT Arrival, but it was a good match overall. It shows how good these two are in the ring. It's just that it kind of felt as an appetizer to what they can do in the ring for the WWE Universe. But it was a good match overall. I wish they kind of gave them more time. But anyway, Sami Zayn pulls up an incredible sunset powerbomb on Cesaro, and I thought it was a blue white thunder powerbomb. And no, but instead it's a sunset. He counters one of Cesaro's I thought it was a neutralizer or no, but it was a sunset flip powerbomb, and then he actually pins Cesaro for a 3 count and gets the victory over Cesaro. And in a good match, in a very good match. But that was just an appetizer as to what they could really do in that ring for the WWE Universe. Also in the night's main event, we had Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho for the 100th time already? with special guest commentators Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Alberto Del Rio's the special guest timekeeper, and Cesaro as the special guest announcer. Yeah, this wasn't... I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't, like, the best way to promote, like, the Money in the Bank ladder match, like, either. But anyway, Dean Ambrose gets the win in a fairly okay match. He hits Dirty Deeds on Chris Jericho, and that was, like, honestly, like, was it short to me? Or, like, it spanned from one commercial, like, but anyway, as soon as the match ends, Kevin Owens rushes the ring and attacks Dean Ambrose, which Sami Zayn follows suit and attacks Kevin Owens, and then everyone starts brawling, and then Sami Zayn dives onto the competitors and then, yeah, there's so much that happened. Sami Zayn dives onto the competitors, and then they're all down, which leaves Chris Jericho as the last man standing. He unhooks the briefcase in a sign of things to not come at Money in the Bank. Chris Jericho will not be holding that Money in the Bank briefcase at Money in the Bank. We also had some other stuff that happened on Monday Night Raw. We had Rusev attacking Titus O'Neil because of their little verbal jabs on SmackDown. Rusev, like, aggressively attacked Titus O'Neil. At this point, Rusev should be looked at that way, and like a dominant and like violent competitor. He locked in that accolade like twice on Titus O'Neil, and I thought the second time like he was gonna like lock that accolade and stretch him in half like he did to Kalisto at Extreme Rules, but I don't know. I guess not. But anyway, it was a fairly good way to make Rusev look strong and make Titus O'Neil look sympathetic come Money in the Bank for their upcoming United States Championship match. So made me a little bit more excited for that match. Some other stuff that happened included Paige defeating Charlotte in a pointless Divas match, which didn't really promote the upcoming tag team match for Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Becky Lynch and Natalya. And yeah, Dana Brooke cost Charlotte the match. And honestly, shouldn't Paige get a title match because she pinned the champion twice already? Where's her title match? They should be doing a storyline right now where Paige should be getting her title match at this point. We also had more promos from Darren Young and the Shining Stars, and honestly, nobody cared. We also had Zack Ryder versus Sheamus, and Sheamus basically flattened Zack Ryder. And then Apollo Crews saved Zack Ryder from a Sheamus beatdown post-match. And then I thought Apollo Crews was gonna like go on a tear on Sheamus, but then Sheamus ran away like a pussy. And then I thought they were just gonna beat the hell out of each other until a referee separated in, but then no. Sheamus just ran away like a pussy. Honestly, I just don't really know what to think of Apollo Crews. He can do cool stuff in the ring, but I don't know. What's his identity, honestly? Overall, it was a fairly good episode of Raw. It kind of got me excited for Money in the Bank. The only matches that I'm really excited for are, at this point, are AJ Styles versus John Cena, obviously. Now I'm excited for Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins because the possibility of Dean Ambrose cashing in, and I'll discuss that more. I'll discuss the other thing I'm excited for on my predictions video Thursday, and the obvious Money in the Bank ladder match because of who I want to win. Yeah, Dean Ambrose. Anyway, I'll discuss all things Money in the Bank in my predictions video on Thursday. And yeah, as soon as the rest of the Money in the Bank card is finalized, I'll talk about all things Money in the Bank on my predictions video the Thursday before the pay-per-view, which is on Father's Day. Anyway, lasagnas, don't forget to drop a like on this video. If you enjoyed my Raw reactions, leave a comment down below for your Raw reactions for the June 13th, 2016 episode. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Follow me on all my social medias in the description below. And like, comment, share, subscribe, and always be delicious. Until next time, lasagnas.